Detroit. Saving what we love.
What's up? Hello, Detroit. This is Garbage Tier Media. I am your host, Jamal Baraka from GT Media Reviews. Tonight we're doing another comic book review, and I haven't done one in a few weeks. I think it's been a few weeks, but tonight we're going to be doing another book, and this one is our macro series, picking back up with Leonardo. This is the third issue of this series. This one here spotlights our fearless leader, Leonardo, and is from IDW. And full disclosure, when I read a review or I upload a video for the YouTube channel or Facebook, I usually go back and forth between reading the book that is supposed to be popular for the week, and then, I figured this is my side project. This popular video is probably going to get the popular book is going to get the most attention, but then I try to go back and forth between the book that I'm probably going to be more interested in or something that I just haven't been caught up with, that I'm probably going to read, I just haven't got to. And as you guys know, if you follow me on any of my social channels, I'm way behind. So yesterday, the book that I deemed probably to be the book of the week, as far as, clickbaity issues or whatever, was Heroes in Crisis number 4. As expected, it turned out to be a dud that really didn't advance that plot. And then I bounced to this one. This is the Leonardo Macro series, and I've had it for about a month. I expected it to be good when I read it, but I just hadn't got to it. So, as expected, this book turned out to be the superior comic. Sadly, I don't know how many people read the Ninja Turtle series at all. I never see it really chart high, but it's honestly one of the best books on the shelves, and that's just being honest. I haven't had any complaints about any of the Ninja Turtles comics or series. I was reading Ninja Turtle Universe, and I dropped that one because it seemed to be totally disconnected from the main series. But after reading this one, I may end up picking Ninja Turtle Universe back up, and I'll get to that a little bit later. So, not enough readers know that the IDW line probably is the best series on the shelves today. If it's not the best, it's one of probably the top 10 ongoing series out there. And in an age of constant reboots coming out of the big two, that's saying something, and I wouldn't lie to you. I'm your friend. So the story group here, they give me hope for what the industry could look like if it wasn't beholden to Marvel or DC, because in this case, you have an ongoing series that's long running. You have a pretty stable creative team and art on the series rotating in and out. You don't get a lot of major surprises, but what you get is like soul food. Like, you read the Ninja Turtle book, you know it's good, you can walk away from it and feel good about it. It's not like you're going to be reading and then next month the whole series is going to have a new team, or it's just like everything's going to be reset back to issue number 1. And you know what I'm talking about when I say that. This one is beautiful, and it's written by Sophie Campbell. She does the writing and the art for this story, and the colorist for it is Brittany, and she does an amazing job. The story takes a hard look at Leonardo, and it's quickly apparent when you open this book up that Sophie has a genuine affection for this character. It focuses in on his role as big brother and his responsibility as leader of the Turtles and Clan Hamato. When the Turtles split from Splinter and Splinter started running the Foot Clan, Leonardo basically became clan leader. And this is something that isn't really spotlighted or spoke to, but Leonardo was like 16 or 17 years old. He's pretty young to be running his own clan of ninjas. So he's under a lot of strain, and the book covers the strain of having his father away from the family, the strain put on Leonardo as being the leader of his group, and the fact that the Turtles are indirectly affiliated with the Foot Clan. The comic focuses on Leo's personal motivations and what he wants for the future of his family. He's probably the most traditional ninja out of the group, and he bears that responsibility on top, keeping his brothers in shape, and he has to keep them in shape, be the surrogate father and big brother, and it's rough. he's wearing all these titles and responsibilities of somebody that's much older. Leonardo is like 16 or 17 years old in this book. He may be even younger than that, but I don't really recall them putting the age of the turtles out there. But the series, I would assume in real time, probably has been going on for a couple years. I think he was like 15 or 16 when the series started. So when the book opens up, we have the turtle ending a meditation session. It didn't really go well. Leonardo was the only one plugged into it. And after the session's over, he leaves and decides to continue the session alone by himself. And at that point, he's immediately attacked by Koya. Koya is a giant mutant that comes in the form of a bird. They go back and forth a couple pages, but Koya gets the best of him and leaves him pinned on the ground and snatching his mask off. But before she before she kills him, Leonardo asks her, okay, so you kill me, what's next for you? And then he goes there by saying, you only won because I was distracted and I wasn't giving my all. And then Koya, she wants to have a real win and not something where she wins over somebody that's distracted or not giving her all, so she backs off. She lets Leonardo up and they start talking for a bit. And then Leo he just says, hey, if you're here, that means that Kairi is back. And Koya tells, yeah, she's back and she wants to take back the Foot Clan. And she asks him, like, what do you, I came here to get what I want. What do you want? And when she tells Leo that, she asks Leo that, he thinks back to his family. And Koya gets up, she decides to leave, but then Kairi shows up. I'm butchering that name. Karai shows up right after Koya, gets up. Leo, he's looking at a known enemy, so he pulls out his katana and they go back and forth a little bit, but then Karai has picked up one of the weapons that she found in the in the TMNT Universe book, and she, just destroys Leonardo's katana. And she lets him know she's back. She confirms what Koya says. She's back to take over the Foot Clan. And Leo says, hey, he's not going to stand in her way, and he just wants his father back. Leo and Karai go back a little bit, and they form a truce. But the truce has a condition that Leonardo just wants Splinter and his family to be able to walk away from the conflict and peacefully. After this, the rest of the turtles show up. And they get into a brief fight with Karai, and Leo just shuts that down like, hey, look, we're not fighting today. Karai walks away. They all, part ways kind of semi-peacefully. Nobody's fighting or anything. Nobody's angry. And Leo just decides, he's at peace with his decision. And he tells his brothers they're going to hang out for the rest of the way. No meditation, no hard work. They're just going to chill out. But as the brothers walk away from the area to go hang, Koya drops Leonardo's mask back to the ground. And, Leo looks back up at Koya and they walk away and have a good time. And what we get in the next montage of images is the beautiful scene of the turtles just chilling out, watching TV, swimming around and relaxing, and we don't get a lot of that in this series. There's always issue to conflict, and that's pretty much the book. Now, I stated earlier that this is a beautiful comic. It really drives home some key aspects of Leonardo's character that you won't see in the regular issue format. Leo's ultimate goal is to protect his family and for them to be together and safe. No kid should be under this sort of pressure that Leo is under at all times. And it's really sad he has to make life or death decisions all the time for his family, all at such a young age. We rarely get to see him in a state of peace, so it's nice to see him get a respite, even briefly. The art from Sophie has a serene quality that drives home the key elements of the story and the familiar themes of the series. The Turtles are probably the closest family that I've ever read in comics. Now, we always hear about the Fantastic Four being like the first family of comics. I think that what IDW has managed to put together for this series is probably the best collection of family that you'll see in a comic book. And it's honestly a blueprint. Like if I had a writer come up to me like, I have a family dynamic and I don't know how to portray it. I'm like, look, pick up the Ninja Turtle books and read every issue, or any arc from the series, and you'll see how brothers should be presented in a comic. And this is what it is. And she's also able to pack a lot of emotions into single panels that translate inner thoughts of characters without word balloons. She can just show a picture of Leonardo in thought and you pick it up. So that's just her strength as an artist. The regular series is pushing 100 issues, and it's been theoretically running in real time, which means our heroes have been running from crisis to crisis to crisis for as long as this series has been going on. I don't have an exact timeline. I'm going to ask IDW in a tweet or maybe email them, but I want to say the story's been running maybe 2 years straight. And if somebody in the comments can correct me if I'm wrong, they can just let me know. This issue is also pretty special because if you haven't read it, then you also wouldn't have seen Karai's journey to Japan if you haven't been following her story arc in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle Universe. There was a 3-issue story arc that went down. It wasn't bad, but it didn't really keep my attention, so I ended up dropping the series. I was like, it's something that I'll follow, but it was something that I probably would pick up and trade rather than single issues. But seeing this particular situation play out and seeing Karai with the weapon back with the gang that she picked up in that series, it gave me a smile because I had more info. It flavored this story more so than would have been on its own. So it's like, okay, I got a tidbit that nobody else has. This line of comics is incredibly layered, and it has writers, artists, and probably the strongest editorial direction any line of comics produced today. And with all that being said, the story had a happy ending, but it's pretty obvious that Leo's plan probably won't turn out the way that he expects. I think this is driven home by the scene toward the end of the book when Koya throws Leo's mask back to him and Leonardo looks up. So he looks ahead, he sees his brother at peace, he looks behind him, and there's a threat. So what that tells me is thematically there's always going to be a threat for our brothers. And even on top of that, looking at the way these stories have been playing out, Splinter's conflicted, Leonardo's making truces with the bad guy, and Donatello's issue, he's not even looking at the present, he's looking at down the line into the future, and he sees death and destruction. What I'm thinking is going to happen is we're probably going to lose one of our heroes soon. And at the time of this writing, Shredder's coming back, Agent Bishop is still out there with the Earth Protection Force. The Rat King and his group of elder brother guides are out there doing whatever they're doing. And I'd be very surprised if something big doesn't happen, especially the tone of these last 2 issues. This one was an amazing ride, and I would say it's a must read, even if I spoiled a bulk of the issue. It needs to be experienced. These books need to be read. Sophie and Brittany deserve all the praise in the world for putting the story together. And on the strength of this issue, I'm probably going to pick up some of her other stories because she's an excellent writer. I've seen her around on social media, but I haven't really followed any of her books. And this one here is perfect. I gave it on our blog, I gave it an A+, and I think it's well deserved, even going back and reading it the next day. I don't see too many books that get its characters as well as this one does, and that's something that should be applauded because you have so many comics on the shelves now that the character's personality shift depending on the creative team. And for the IDW line of stories, the Turtles are always consistent no matter who's writing the story, and you'll always get either more info or you may not get as much info, but you never feel like you're reading a different character. So with that, this is Jamal Baraka from Garbage Tier Media. Thank you for spending part of your Monday with me. Happy Monday. We're going into Tuesday and soon the weekend will be here. If you want to catch me, you can catch me on social media at Twitter, Tumblr, Facebook, pretty much anywhere online at Jamal is Trash. You can subscribe to my channel, and I appreciate it if you do. I appreciate you for making it this far in the video, and I appreciate you just clicking on my page. Or you can check out my blog and subscribe there. I put out comic book reviews at least 3 or 4 times a week. And it's not always Ninja Turtles. Matter of fact, a bulk of my website, my blog, my reviews are mainly independent comics, but I do read DC. I don't really mess with Marvel like that anymore for personal reasons. If you follow me on social media, you'll know why. But other than that, have a great day. You can subscribe and check me out. I'll be back next time. Thanks.